Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brad and welcome back to Screamin' Pirate EDC. Today we're going to be doing a first impressions video. It's been a while since I've done one, but figured this knife deserves it. But before we get into the knife, what do I have on me today? First up is going to be my Yeti mug from Death Wish Coffee. Great mug, really like the size. After that, my light and pry. So the pry slash bottle opener is going to be the Beer Bomb from Notorious EDC, and the light is the Raylight Pineapple Mini that I got from Urban EDC Supply. There will be a link in the bio for my affiliate for Urban EDC. Every bit purchased there does help the channel. Now, before we get on to the next thing, right now I have a discount code on the Urban EDC Supply Nessie. I like the knife, it's very unique. If you use Pirate 5, it is going to give you 5% off all models of the Nessie except for the Brown Micarta. In the Brown Micarta, if you use Pirate 10, you get 10% off. So go ahead, it'll be in the description, get you one. It's a good knife and it helps the channel. All right, we have that out of the way, guys. What do I have on my pouch? I've been carrying a pouch a little bit more. I have the Always Tired, the Everyday Minimalist patch, and my Red Skull patch. This is going to be on a Rover EDC pouch. Now, these two patches here, I am towards the end of this run. Currently, it is the 10th, I think. And I'm only going to be doing a few more days of these guys. There's only a few left. If you want them, go get them. All right, that's out of the way. And then finally, you know it's got to be the Screamin' Pirate EDC Hank. Again, link in the bio. Every little bit helps the channel. Very well made from Renegade EDC. All right, we have all that out of the way. Let's go and get into this first impressions. All right, so to start the first impression on this knife from Brown Knives, we first have to go back about a year, guys, to Blade Show 2021. Now, in Blade Show 2021, I thought I had purchased everything I wanted for the day, and I was wandering around in the second room that's at Blade Show in Atlanta, and I walked up to Craig Brown's table, and he had some beautiful Cortexes on the table. And I'm looking at them, and there's a bunch of Damascus, and there's, you know, some crazy Moku tie, and then out of the corner of my eye, I spot a full tie one. Now, the full tie one really caught me because it had the stonewashed blade. And it somehow looked simple, but the second you pick it up, you got blues and purples. And then I started talking to him more and looking at the machining. And to say the least, I was impressed. The second Koenig Arius I purchased was from that show. I sold that Arius so I could keep the Cortex, if that tells you anything. Very, very impressed with Craig's work, and I've been, you know, a fan ever since. And really talking to him about, you know, what he's doing. And I suggested, since he does a lot of 154, since it's an in-house heat treat, you know, grinding, etc., that he tries to upgrade steel, maybe, you know, 20 CV. And lo and behold, he announced the FSD. Now, I asked Craig, what does FSD stand for? And he said, honestly, it's kind of like a buzzword. It's basically the Tesla FSD is kind of what it stands for, more or less, kind of, but it's just more of a reference. But he announced it in both 154 and 20 CV. Fantastic. I was so excited for that. Now, the one I have here is in 154 because it is a very early model. This is number 9. And honestly, guys, I couldn't be more pleased with this knife. I think the fit and the finish is fantastic. The milling definitely holds up to his standards. I really hope to get non-solid ano and maybe get more of like you have on the Cortex that I have, you know, with bronze top on top of the milling and then blue deeper. Gives it kind of a cool depth. I think that would be very fun in the future. Now, as far as the knife, I really like the actual like flat spot milled under the clip. That's great, in and out of the pocket. I've really enjoyed that. I also like that there's very little to see, you know, as far as like, you know, branding and whatnot on there. I like the pivot. It is captured, which is very cool. Also, the milling on the blade is very deep enough to flick without any problem. Also, your lockup, phenomenal, no problem with lockup. It front flips well, it flips well. I have no issue there. I can choke up, comfortable in hand. And I noticed that there's a little bit of jimping right under to the pivot. So if you're looking at the show side, it's to the left of the pivot. It's a nice place to set your finger whenever you're holding the knife. It is comfortable. The jimping doesn't feel like it would be functional. It definitely is. So far, I've been able to use it even for front flipping. Really do like that. The mechanism, think of it as, I'll try to get a close up here, as like a modified compression lock is really the best way I can put this. The lockup when you have it open is just a bank vault, guys. It's great. I love it. So far, my only real complaint here is going to be size. It is large. It is very large. I wish it was closer to the Cortex in size than, you know, its current size. Because, I mean, right now it's the size of, you know, an Arius, which is big. It's very big, especially for a knife like this. It's also a little bit thick. So I think if it was more of like a 3.5-inch blade versus, you know, almost like a 3.75 overall, I think it would be a little bit better. I think it would fit people's hands a little bit more. But I do love everything else about the knife. I love this in-house hollow grind that he did by hand. This thing is insanely sharp and just gorgeous. Very happy with that. I do like this mill pattern better than mill pattern number 2. This is number 1 and very much in love with that. Again, guys, action is great. I love the way this feels in hand. I like using it so far. It's really a joy to carry as well in and out of the pocket. I have no issues with it yet. I think that my really only gripe right now is going to be the size. The size is really where it's kind of like, I hand it to anybody with smaller hands because I wear a large glove and it's big. Like, it's a big knife, guys. I do not think this is an office friendly knife. I'll put it that way. But yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and head back to this beautiful mug and take a final conclusion at this knife for my first impressions. Not that mug, this mug, okay? All right, now that we're back over here. So, first impressions of this, guys, everything's great, size like I talked about, but really, the true kicker is the sound. That's all 3 opening methods, but just, ooh, that sounds good, guys. Yeah, I mean, guys, what can I say? It's a Brown knife. You know, he does great milling. He's very precise with what he does. The lock is interesting. It's somewhere between a left-handed button lock and a compression lock. I like it. Overall, it's good. I think it's going to be a hit. I really think people are going to talk about this knife more and more as the year goes on. I know within Brown Knives community, it's already a big deal. And I'm hoping a lot more people can get their hands on these. Yeah, it's great. I like it. Final thing on this is price. So price for the 154 CM with no ano, no nothing like that. Just this one with black hardware was $800. So just to kind of set a price for you guys and so you know where it's at. Yeah, overall, I think it's a good knife. I think that it's really something unique and fresh for me in my collection. And hopefully you guys will check it out in your own collection. Look forward to the full review, and don't forget to check out some patches and some hanks. And I'll catch you on the next one.